Hello, everyone. Hello, men. Courageous men, beautiful men working on yourselves. Dimitri here, Pornography Addiction Recovery Coach. I wanted to share my story of pornography addiction. If you know me, you know I'm a recovered addict. If you don't know me, I was a sex addict and addicted to pornography for 17 years. And I overcame this addiction. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my story, just as a way to maybe inspire you in your healing. Also maybe share with you the common reality of what people are going through. I consider myself a pretty critical case when I was addicted, and I came out of it. So if I came out of it, you can come out of it too. That's the invitation, that the takeaway message that I hope I'll be able to pass to you. So how did it all start? So I'll talk only about my pornography addiction here, not so much about sex addiction. Happy to make another video on sex addiction another time. But for today, let's talk about pornography. So pornography, it started in teenagehood. There was a friend who brought some magazines. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is pretty cool. But it was his magazines, so I didn't have access to that. I was probably 11, 12 years old. Then when I was going to his place as well, he had VHS, and then I started watching videos. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And there was one day I remember I went to his place, and we were playing, and I don't know, we were playing probably like Warhammer or whatever we were playing at the time. And then it was nighttime, and I was like, oh, well, we're watching a movie, right? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, a pornography movie, obviously. And it was kind of funny that I made this association that he for me, like, it was a thing that we're doing, but for him, it was just, oh, okay, he was surprised. That kind of stuck with me, that thing. And yes, and that was pretty much it. And I enjoyed that when I was watching them. I was a teenager, and, time flew by. And then one day I was at this friend's place, and he had a good internet connection. That was at the beginning of the internet. He had a really good internet connection. He had this like mansion in which he was living. And in the morning before I was going home, he's like, hey, I'll show you something. And we went onto porn sites. And I had never been onto porn sites before, because I am a very gentle, goody-goody, respectful boy I was at the time, and I never really broke any rules. And then he showed me that. He showed me those movies, and I was like, dude, but isn't this not scary for you? And it's like, no, I love the fear of being caught. I'm like, fuck that, I hate being caught. This is like the worst thing that could happen. But anyway, and so we watched that, and I remember very clearly on the way back home, walking as a teenager, I'm like, wow, my life has changed forever. It makes me both happy and sad to say that. My life has changed forever. Like, there is so much meaning, and like, I was like, there'll be an avenue for me. Whenever I doubt, or whenever there's something, when I feel bad, I can go to that, and this is so powerful, and wow, there's so many things to explore. I want to explore that in great detail. I remember that feeling like it was yesterday. Yes. And so time passed, and we didn't have the internet. Then at my father's place, I got the internet. When I got the internet, my father gave me the talk, and I'm glad he did. He didn't do it the right way. He didn't do it the way I would do it now to my kids, if I had kids. But he did it nonetheless, and I thank him for that. He's passed now. But and he said, well, there's this. We have the internet. There's this websites. You know which ones they are. Just don't go there. And I said yes. On the moment I said yes, I knew there was a definite no. So I started watching pornography on the internet more and more. I was probably 12, 13 at that stage, sneaking out in the evening. Then we got a computer at my mom's place. I was watching more and more pornography. The computer was then in my room. I asked my mom, and I tricked my mom, that she put my computer in my room so that I could work, do research, whatever. Which obviously was just for pornography. So already I had this strong connection with that object that was pornography. I was probably 14 at the time. And I influenced my mom, and I lied to my mom so that I could have this computer in my bedroom, which I had never done before in the past in my life ever. Yes, and then from then it being a pretty steep escalation into more and more extreme content, more and more content altogether. I remember at the time of Kaza and downloads, I was downloading about 200 videos a day that I was then sorting in the afternoon. So it took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go through that. And that's when I started to do overnighters as well. Yeah, just go through content. That was before streaming. I just had a stash. Anyway, and all this never really impacted my life. I had a double life where this was happening in its own cocoon. But if my friends asked me to go out or play soccer or whatever, I'd always say yes to my friends. They were my point of reference. For me, it'd be a massive red flag. If they asked me to go out and I'd watch pornography instead, it probably happened only once, and it'd be a massive red flag. So I never really got to that. But yes, progressively, I got into more and more extreme pornography and more content. Then I had a girlfriend. We got along together, but these were two separate worlds. I was keeping watching pornography on the side when she wasn't there, but I was pretty happy to be with her. So it's just when she wasn't there that I was watching. And yeah. And without going into details, like the content I was watching was only lesbian content, and it started to scale in the extreme. So everything you have when you Google extreme pornography, which at the time I didn't really understand why. I just thought I had a fascination for women. Okay, and then fast forward. So all this goes up and up, more and more pornography, more and more extreme, to the extent in total I've watched 16,000 hours of pornography, right? So that's a lot. If I had been practicing my front kick and my jab instead of all this time on pornography, I would be a fucking hero by now. But I did not do that, and it's okay. And then after a while, I met Caroline, my current fiancée, the love of my life. And I met her 7 years ago. I stopped watching pornography with her. It was easy. The sex was crazy good, and we had a really great time. And then after 3 or 4 years, I went back to pornography again. And I caught myself like hiding to go to pornography. And then I thought, this is really fucked. I thought, this is not possible. Like, I love her so much. She doesn't deserve that. I don't deserve that. So I'm gonna heal that thing, and I'm going to work on this. And I have tried to go cold turkey many, many times. Like, this is the last time I'm watching. Just one more time, one last sneak peek, and all of that. And obviously this is all a lie we're telling ourselves. And I tried to go cold turkey with no success. And I was like, I'm going to devise a method that is going to make pornography boring for me. I find it exciting now. I'm going to develop a method that's going to make pornography boring. And over 6 months, I did that. And after 6 months, I had healed. And I knew it. I knew it because I didn't feel the cravings anymore. I knew it because I didn't care about pornography. And I was like, fuck that. Like, such a waste of time. And all this world was past. And wow, that was the beginning of everything for me. That was the beginning of the accomplishment years later. That was the beginning of finding myself. That was the beginning of investing time in finding good jobs, cultivating self-esteem, going out of academia to find myself in entrepreneurship, and all the things. That's when I started to become myself. And what a crazy moment. Yes. And so how does it feel once you've healed from pornography? How does it feel? It feels like I have control over my life. It feels like I can invest my time and energy in things that matter to me. I feel like a role model for a certain man, which makes me happy. I feel like I've walked only a fraction of the path to becoming myself. But what a meaningful and beautiful journey to be on. Sex is not conditioned by pornography anymore. And yeah, I mean, life is really good. Like, there's been so many opportunities that have been unlocked. Since then, I have found a position recently in academia. I've been playing in a Hollywood movie the past weeks or so. I've been building my business. I'm building another business on the side of stargazing business, which you may or may not be aware of. So there's been so many positive things that have happened. It's been the beginning of finding myself. Yes, that's my story with pornography addiction. Yes, the lowest low, I think, was when My mother was knocking on my door at 4 a.m. and she was asking what was happening because she could see lights, and she's like, "You're not asleep yet?" And I just hated everything. I hated her in those moments. I hated myself. I hated everything. And waking up in the morning, if I do an overnighter, I would have watched pornography for maybe 10 hours or 8 hours, and so I'd sleep really little. I'd sleep like 4 hours, so from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. At 12 p.m. and I'd get up at 12 p.m. and my mom would ask me like why I look so tired, why my eyes are red, if I have any disease, if I need to see an ophthalmologist, and it would make me angry. Not at her, but at me. Yes. So this method that I've used is the method that I want to share with you, teach with you in the new program that we're launching soon. So if you want to be a founding member, to co-develop this program with me and inject the knowledge and just buy the program, it's available at $67 this week, and after that it'll probably be around $100 or so. And I really want to have a program that's accessible to everybody. I suffered so much from this. There's so many people who suffer from this. It doesn't need to be this way. So I want that there is a simple program that's available for everyone. And if you'd like to be part of it, if you'd like to co-create it with me as we're unrolling this in the coming weeks, then write down founding members in the comments, and I'll get back to you. And you can score yourself a program and be free from pornography for $67, which is my ambition for the whole world. That's my story, folks. Don't hesitate to leave comments if that was meaningful for you. If you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer your questions about my story, things I may have forgotten or not mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's keep the discussion rolling. Let's keep the progress rolling. Let's keep the work on ourselves rolling. Keeping honoring ourselves. Keeping being aligned in our quest of selves. Peace, brother. Take care.